Alright, Brendan Taylor here, True School Sports. I'm with my main man, 50 grand, Adrian Granados.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Yeah, man. First New York fight, man. How you feeling?
Oh, I'm excited. I'm ecstatic, bro. I'm like, I just can't wait. You know, it's only a couple days away now, and you know, we put in the work in the short amount of time that we had, and it's gonna be a great fight.
Absolutely, man. I'm excited to see it. You know, it was funny because I talk to you regularly, and you were talking about like, you know, a tune-up fight, and then boom, all of a sudden this happened. So like, I guess why not the tune-up fight? Why the Porter fight?
Well, yeah, no, you're not gonna pass up on an opportunity. I mean, it was I was a little tentative just because I had plans to moving down at 140 and trying to get a shot at one of those straps or one of the big names there, but you know, then Mauricio Suleiman threw the silver belt, you know, the mandatory for the WBC on that, and I'm like, oh man, yeah, I can't pass up on this. So yeah, I took the fight. Next day got the contract. Next day got announced, and boom! All of a sudden it was all over. Like my phone getting blown up, and all of a sudden I was back in the mix, you know. So
absolutely,
it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, and it's funny because I remember like when we were in Chicago, when we did the last interview, me and you, we kind of like hung out, and I remember we were talking about you fighting in New York, and now we're here. So it's just funny how life works.
Yeah, it is, and yeah, I've always wanted to. Like I said, I've been here twice before, Santa Cruz, Frampton, and then Garcia Thurman, and those were great experiences. Like as a fan, you know, they were both great fights. The atmosphere, the lights, you know, now to be fighting, you know, on a card with, you know, Deontay Wilder and Stiverne, and you know, being a triple header, world title, you know, in the opening bout we got the IBF junior lightweight title on the line. You know, Sergey Lipinets, you know, is my stablemate, and he's, you know, I forget. I met the guy today, the other fighter he's fighting, but yeah, seemed like a good guy and seemed in good shape, you know. So that's gonna be a good fight, and obviously, yeah, me and Shawn, so it's gonna be a great night of boxing.
Absolutely, man, and it's like your second consecutive like big fight.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Being that it's your second consecutive, you know, big fight where, you know, there's more attention on you than usual, what do you think has been like the biggest difference, like as far as how you dealt with like the more like media obligations and things of that nature?
Yeah, no, just being a little more level-headed. I kind of put too much on my plate for the Broner fight. I knew like it was a big like opportunity for me, so I got as much exposure as I could, and it was like too much. I put too much on my plate, you know, and I mean, it's no excuse though. You know, I should have won the fight. I thought I won the fight, but you know, we learned from the mistakes, and now moving forward, you know, I feel like I'm gonna be a lot better this Saturday.
Yeah, I believe so too, and I know I was gonna ask you about this too, cause especially since the Broner fight, on Twitter I just noticed that like Al Bernstein really likes you. Like I was asking, what's your relationship like with Al Bernstein? Like he seems to like you a lot. And
no, well, we're just, you know, we're both Chicagoans. That's what.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's from Chicago. You know, I'm from Chicago, and you know, he's just. I mean, shoot, I've been listening to him since I was a little boy. You know, I've always followed his commentating, and yeah, no, he's just. I mean, you know, the whole Showtime staff, they've all been, you know, great with me, and. You know, it's been a great relationship, and I'm happy to be fighting on Showtime again. I'm happy to be having this opportunity, and you know, I'm just now it's just counting down the hours.
Absolutely, man. I know you are, since you're here in this nice hotel. You know, I believe it was last month because it's November now. Last month was Ed Brown's birthday.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, like, you know, it's been we're coming up on a year, right, since he passed away.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask you, like, what was like? Do you have an Ed Brown story? Like, what's the best Ed Brown story you had? Maybe it was in the gym or just hanging out, or one that sticks out in your mind.
Man, I remember when we first met. He was like 12 or 11, and I was like 15, and I fought his cousin, and I beat his cousin. And like after the fight, like, and then I remember just this little kid, like you know, cute little kid, like holding up the spit bucket, like, and George in there yelling at him, you know. But you just still see this little kid, and he's got his uniform on. And sure enough, even after the fight, like he was just a grown ass little man, like he would straight up, like after the fight, he's like, hey, good fight, man, good fight, you know. And he showed me respect, and he's just a little kid, you know.
Yeah.
And he ended up fighting that night and winning too, and like. Another one, you know, like, it's just in the gym. This is the look I always remember. I do it with all my boys, but yeah, he just because of the way I'm sitting. But he'll be in there, and either he had a long night or something, he'd be tired. But then all of a sudden he sees me, and he'd be like, like a smile, like an evil smile, you know, like cause we were little kids, man. We you know we knew each other already for like 9-10 years, you know, and no shoot, as long as I've been boxing, so like closing in on 13 years, you know, it was 12 years already. We knew each other. And we just, you know, we were boys, man. Like, that was my guy. We were fighting at the same weight class, 140. And that was, like we said, no matter how big we get, no matter what, you couldn't give us any money, you know. We would never fight each other.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there'll be some days, like, I don't know, man, you know, what they do, like, couple bit, like, a lot of M's, you know, and we're like, I don't know, man. We might have to work something out. You
That's
know?
right.
Like we would just always joke around, man. We were just kids, dude. Like we were kids. Even like as grown ass men already. Like, you know, we're like we would talk about stuff and all the time. And he would have that like it was a cheesy and like a giggle like or whatever. And me too. I would always try to like pick at him to make him crack up because I would always just be a fool with him and. Yeah, man, it's a trip, you know, and there's not a day go by that I don't think about him or like I still, you know, I just be like, man, like it kills me. Like going to freaking Garfield Park, like and seeing all the photos, like you know, it just hits you again, you know, you're like, cause you see all the photos there. You see him from when he was 11, from when he was 5, from when he was 20 to when he was 22, when he was, you know, when like pictures that he had just recently done, you know, this last year, you know. And, it's a trip, man, and it's hard, but, you know, I always took it, like, now I take it, like, the way he was. He would just be straight up, like, he was just an OG, man. Like, he was, like, he'd be like, you know, life goes on, Adrian. You know, like he would be like, man up, dog. Like, that's the, and I'm like, and it's crazy because he would call me big bro, and I never called him little bro. And, you know, he would always be like, hey, big bro, you know, hey, big bro. And, like, I would listen to Lil Bro all the time, and he'd always call me Big Bro, but I'd be like, nah, you the chief, bro, you the chief.
You the chief, yeah.
Because I went to his gym. It was Garfield Park was his gym, you know, and I came in from my trainer, Rico Gonzalez, and Wheeling boxing team. But yeah, man, long live Ed Brown.
Long live Ed Brown. You know, man, like, okay, so he's not here anymore, but like you're fighting now what's many people would consider, I believe, maybe even you would consider the biggest fight of your career thus far.
Without a doubt.
If he was here right now, what do you think he would tell you about this Shawn Porter fight?
Shoot, man, we had a hood mentality where we'd be like, gotta go out there and beat his ass. Like, but we would talk boxing. You know, he would tell me like, you know, he might say stick and move, be aggressive, work the body, work the head. You know, like he would always talk strategy with me. But it was crazy because everybody from the hood always said he looked up to me and that he would try to learn from me and. I would catch it, like, cause I was older than him, and I'd be jumping rope or I'd be doing something, and I could see him like in the back, like looking at me, and then going back like and working out or like coming back and looking at like thinking I'm not looking, but I see it in the peripheral, like I'm like I see you looking, little bro, but I would never, cause what it was is he's like me, he was a sponge, he was trying to learn, and anything I would see, I do things from him, you know, that little style things that you know we got, you know, over there at the bro.
You kind of just took it.
Yeah, and it's an Ed Brown move, like, and we'll be the straight up tell you, you know, we'll be writing each other at the gym, like, oh man, you stole my boy's moves, you know, or that's an Ed Brown move, man. Why you take that, you know? Why you biting off his style? Why you biting off his swag, you know? Like, but yeah, dude, that kid was awesome, man. He was one of a kind dude, and yeah, man, we miss him. We all miss him. Like, yeah, I speak for the whole team. We all do, man.
Okay, all right, man. R.I.P. Ed Brown.
R.I.P.
I want to ask. Okay, I also want to ask you too, because you know. I know the World Series is on in the background, but you're a huge Chicago Cubs fan. I know this very well.
Yeah.
You had a chance to go to a charity event, and you met some of the Cubs. Like you met Joe Madden and all that. Can you talk about that? Like.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. They were all really cool. You know, Joe Madden was super nice. I met Kyle Schwarber. I met C.J. Edwards. You know, Carl Edwards. Shoot, I think that was probably it with me that I personally met, because it was like they were kind of hidden in the event, and then like when they came up and then they were out right after, and then, but I mean it was just cool just to be a part of it, and yeah, I'm a huge Cubs fan, and I mean, you know, Cubbies, I know we ain't dead yet, we still got a bunch of young talent. I mean, two long seasons in a row, you know, I mean it's hard to repeat like that, so I'm not disappointed at all. I was there, I was watching every playoff game, the last stretch, you know, and I was following every day during the season, and you know, it just, you know, baseball's a heck of a sport. You know, I played baseball 10 years before I started boxing, so I guess you could say that might be like the first official love just because I played it, but boxing is definitely the love of my life.
I feel that. It's the same here, actually. I played baseball for quite a long time as well. Yeah.
For sure.
Let me ask you, now that you mentioned baseball, do you think like baseball players make the best boxers? Like which sport do you think like creates like which sport has the best boxers? Like football players, basketball players, baseball players.
One thing with me, I think why I was able to catch up because I started late in boxing at 15, like, and I went open after only 5 fights. It was I played every sport. I played basketball. I played baseball. I played soccer. I played football. I played hockey. I did golf. I did tennis. You know, I did volleyball. Like I could just do a sport. Like I was always just a sports kid. Like you would never see me have a toy. I never had a toy. I always had baseball, basketball, football, sports
cleats,
stuff. Cleats, yeah, cleats and cups and hats and sports. And yeah, man, I think that's what's attributed to me being where I'm at and me being the athlete I am because I could still run a 5-on-5. I could still get on the diamond and. My arm probably, because I used to pitch too.
Yeah,
so
okay.
My arm took a beating. But,
rotator cuff and all that
stuff.
Yeah,
rotator cuff. But I know if I start warming it up, all of a sudden I'll start, popping it. And then shortstop was my natural position, but I played all the diamond. First, second, third, outfield, back catcher. Like, I played the whole diamond. Football, I was running. I didn't get off the football field. Like, I was one of those guys. Like, I was defensive tackle or defensive linebacker or running back or wide receiver. I played quarterback one game. I was the kicker of the team.
Dang.
Yeah, bro.
Do it all.
Yeah, bro. Like because if I get into something, I focus and I study and I get into it.
I like that, man. It was like I'm kind of the same way because like it was funny like earlier when I got here. Went to the gym and you were like, "Oh, you're gonna work out?" I'm like, "Oh, why not?" And then I started working out and then I couldn't stop. I had to
you got into it. Yeah. Once you get going, you get going, and that's why too. I always got people like asking me for advice or asking me for a lot of like I always got tips and questions and all this stuff, and it's just it's great
for like fitness and stuff like that.
All the time.
Yeah, because people respect you.
Yeah, and that's why I feel respected, and it's like I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You mentioned you could hoop a little bit. If you had to play one boxer 1-on-1, who'd you play?
Any of them, man.
Yeah.
I'll bust them all.
Didn't you play? You say you played Crawford one time 1-on-1.
Yeah, to me, Terrence Crawford, and then like a couple of the other guys. We were running a 32, but I was just playing goofy. I was just shooting from half court, and I was draining some of them too.
Yeah.
But so was Terrence. Terrence could hoop too, man. He could hoop. Adrian Broner, he could hoop too. Yeah, we're athletes, so we could do it. But my homies, I went to St. Joe's, alma mater, Vincent Key Labre, y'all know that. That's our, I love my St. Joe's, that's where I started boxing. I went to school with Dimitri McCamey and Evan Turner and a bunch of other talented basketball players.
That explains why Evan Turner, like, I see him sometimes on, like, Instagram. He, like, I think one time he made a post about, like, your fight with Broner. And I'm like, oh, how does that Evan Turner know Adrian Granados? Like, I couldn't put the two together, so.
Yeah, no, we were boys, dude. We were boys. We used to take the bus together. We used to, when we were on the basketball team, his mom would take me home, my mom would take him home, and we were boys, dude. Yeah, we're still boys. Like, I actually wanted to hit him up today just to text with him, talk to him, but they played today, so I don't ever bother him.
Yeah, when he's playing.
Yeah. But yeah, no, shout out to Evan Turner, bro. You my boy.
Yeah, shout out to him, man.
Yeah.
And about this Porter fight, man, like a lot of people, as you know, with you, I think George said one time. George was like, I think we should have the word underdog tattooed on our ass because it doesn't even bother us anymore. A lot of people have been writing you off, man. They've been saying, AG's cherry pick, the emoji's been everywhere. Wow, like okay, at this point in time, like how. And you can just give this advice to other fighters too. Like when people say like you're not on someone's level, like how do you just deal with like that kind of like criticism?
Just don't pay attention to
Yeah.
You beat to your own drum. You never lose confidence. You believe in yourself, and I'm always gonna believe in myself. No matter what, I know whoever I get in there with, I'm gonna give them hell.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you're in what they would call the prime of your career. So like, how do you feel like just overall you've like just evolved as a fighter, like being from like Adrian Granados now compared to the Adrian Granados from like 5 years ago? What's different?
Man, a lot. You know, I think the maturity, the intelligence, the you know, the discipline, You know, it's definitely been, you know, huge. And you know, I gotta definitely give, you know, thanks to my family, my friends, and my teammates and my close supporters who have, you know, kept me, you know, on point and like, you know, checked me whenever you know, I was slipping or like not, you know, me, you know. And yeah, man, it's hard, you know. I mean, shoot, I've been doing it for 13 years now, and now I it's funny when the other day the homies made a video and they were showing all these you know, like posters of mine and to other fighters, and they're like, yeah, man, Adrian's, you know, a young vet, and then like they're like, you know, this,
I saw that. Well, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and yeah, man, it's the truth, man. It was like, it's crazy. I don't have a lot of fights, but all my fights were tough, and like I've been in it so long, and all the ups and downs, and the legalities and the political part of it.
Yeah.
It's been a hell of a roller coaster ride, and you know, I'm hoping you know, getting the win on Saturday, you know, can change my life, and you know, I could become a staple in boxing, not just this underdog story.
Yeah. I think that's what we all want, because like, while there is people out there that like do say, oh, he's this and he's that, there's a lot of people that are like, yo, this guy fights everybody. He's what boxing needs. Like, we need a guy like that to be. And I've been, you know, one of the guys banging the drum, saying that.
You have. I know. I watched the tapes, man, and yeah, dude. The following, and I do read some of the comments. So I'll just like look onto some columns or people's intakes, and it's cool, you know. Like, I mean, hey, good or bad, they're talking about me, and that's, you know, that's something right there, and it's an accomplishment in itself, you know.
Yeah. It is, man. It is, for sure, man. Like, are you excited for any, like, I know you're so focused on your fight, but like the fights coming up, are there any that you're looking forward to?
Of course. Lomachenko-Rigondeaux is coming up this year. You know, I would like to see a Triple G Canelo rematch. You know, hopefully sooner than later. You know, I know Gervonta Davis and Tevin Farmer have been stirring it up. You know, that'd be a great matchup. You know, and I mean, this welterweight division is stacked, you know, so I would like to join the party, and you know, we can all mix it up. You know, also junior welterweights, there's a lot of killers down there that want what Terrence left behind, you know, and you know, obviously Terrence Crawford too. Shout out to Bud Crawford. He always shows me love, and you know, it's nothing but mutual respect there. He's a good man.
Absolutely, man. And yeah, man, just, you know, any message to the fans, man? Anything you want to say? Get off your chest, maybe.
No, just thank you, you know, for the love, for the hate, you know, for the respect, the disrespect. I take it all, man. And it's like I love boxing, and I've always said it when I first started. I'm a fan before a fighter. You know, I grew up as a little kid watching the sport, and I always had love for it. And now, you know, to be fighting for the #1 contender, you know, for the mandatory spot for a world title, like
in New York City.
In New York City, the Barclays Center, Brooklyn. Where Brooklyn at?
Yo, Brooklyn at?
You know, I'm a hip hop head, man. It's fun. You know, I'm excited, and I'm happy, and I'm grateful, and I'm thankful. Thank you, everybody.
Right, man. Adrian Granados, he fights everybody, and he's gonna be here in New York City. So thank you, Adrian, for talking to me today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. God bless.
Thank you. Likewise.